great. This is fucking awesome. Gosh, hell yeah, boys. She looks so good. Broke down in the middle of the fucking road. Oh, just all of that needs repowder coated. The whole fucking harness ripped off. No big deal. It still runs though. All of this because people don't know how to build a drive shaft. So the drive shaft was literally off balance so bad that it shook and sheared off all the bolts on the whole T-case. So just my luck. All right, Devin, what do you think about this?
It's a fucking bunch of retards.
Well, we can't name drop yet because we can't name drop yet. I don't know if we're gonna sue the drive shaft place. Like, this has to be because of the drive shaft. But I mean, it was so bad out of balance that anything over 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour ish, like the whole cab of the truck and everything was shaking. So I literally went and I had it redone, and he cut it all apart and rebalanced it and whatever. And now we go to test drive it, and it's pretty much exactly the same. And it started making a god-awful noise, whole cab and everything vibrating, and then boom, ripped the transfer case off. Completely sheared the bolts, everything, just from the vibration. Just literally from the vibration, broke everything off. Video everything that you do. First time test driving this thing since they rebuilt the drive shaft. So this is literally my first time test driving the truck since they rebuilt the drive shaft and rebalanced it. So it looks like it was balanced pretty well. This isn't how I wanted to be taking rollers right now. This isn't the kind of rollers I wanted to be taking. Hey, them DBA's looking bright though. Alright guys, so pretty much to wrap up this video, as you all just seen, I was pretty aggravated earlier, so I wanted to kind of simplify and settle down. This just happened like 3 hours ago, so I'm a little bit more calmed down. And I just wanted to talk about what exactly happened and what all the damage is, what all is going to need repowder coated, what all is going to need replaced, what all broke. I would say there's probably like $10,000 or more in damage, probably more. I don't know how much like a transmission and a transfer case would cost from Ford. So whether we source that from a parts truck or we reach out to Suncoast for the transmission and go ahead and do like a built transmission or something. I did plan on building the motor here soon. That's kind of why I went down to 35. I have reached out to a drive shaft company on getting a drive shaft made that won't cause $10,000 worth of damage to my truck. So they seem to really know what they're doing, and I've been talking to them, and I'll announce that sponsorship or that company and advertise for them or promote their business and help them out. Even if they don't sponsor me or whatever, I still advertise for companies that are good quality companies that help me out, whether they help me out by whether they help me out by being just a good company in general, or whether they help me out financially. I always try to shout everybody out and advertise, because with my platform, it can really help businesses grow. And not that I'm humongous on YouTube or anything, but I've really helped companies grow and helped them make more money at the same time helping me make more money. So, and at the end of the day, that's what the truck scene is for. That's what I do YouTube for, is to help people. And today's video, I wouldn't necessarily say that I cheaped out on having a drive shaft built, but ordering one online from like a reputable place, like if you just Google single piece drive shaft, you know, they're usually like $600 to $1,000 or more. And what I done was I went to a local drive shaft shop. This place built the one for my 20-inch lift. And now to come to find out, the guy CJ that actually bought my 20-inch lift off of me, his drive shaft caused the same thing. And he had the drive shaft that these same people built for my truck just now. So his transfer case completely broke off, cracked the housing on the transmission, everything. And he was running a drive shaft built by this local company. So they obviously have no idea what they're doing. This one was so bad out of balance. When I tried to go to Music City, the whole truck was shaking. The whole cab of the truck, it just felt like he was driving over rumble strips. Okay? So I took it back to the drive shaft company and they rebalanced it and re-welded it. The welds still look pretty bad, but they looked a lot better than it was the first time. And he said that the U-joints were bad, but they rebalanced it and completely rebuilt it. And the welds were different, so I think they had cut it apart and re-welded it and rebuilt it. And so I put it back on my truck and go for a test drive. I made it probably 3.5 miles from my house. Never got above 50 miles an hour all the way to the point where the accident happened. But I was merging onto a road off of a city street, you know, where it's like 35 mile per hour speed limits. Merged onto the road, gave it gas, got up to about, as soon as I got up to about 50 something miles an hour, the truck just started aggressively shaking, 2 or 3 seconds straight, boom, loud noise. Look in my rearview mirror, see the transfer case and drive shaft sliding down the road. That was a great feeling. I mean, I lost literally the whole underneath of my truck. It felt like you're like running a 5K and then like your balls just drop and fall off. It was bad. So anyway, what all needs repowder coated is the whole rear axle. It's got a pretty good sized chunk out of the powder coat in the back, I would assume, from where I drove over the transfer case. I haven't got to look at the rear wheels yet. I really hope that, you know, when that slid and jumped or vibrated or drug, whatever, I really hope that it didn't hit the back sides of my wheels, you know, because it's a $7,000 set of wheels plus the tires. They all seem to be holding air in the rear, so hopefully it didn't puncture anything. The whole tail housing of the transmission, which I think is replaceable, is completely sheared off, broke. If it's not replaceable, then the truck will need a transmission. The transfer case, obviously, it needs a new transfer case because it hit the concrete doing 50 miles an hour. It needs a new rear drive shaft, of course. And some powder work done on the PMF cross member. There's quite a bit of damage. And it may sound like, oh my gosh, $10,000. Well, boys, that's probably with me doing all the work myself. If I was to buy a transmission out of a parts truck, you could probably get one for a couple $1,000s, or if you bought a brand new one, it's going to be, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Doing the labor myself, putting the transfer case in myself here on YouTube is where we would save some money doing that. Or, you know, if it comes down to a lawsuit and having it all done at a shop, then that's what it'll come down to. But anyway, I just want to make this video, guys, because I'm a YouTuber, and I thought y'all might find some enjoyment in some of my failures, and some of y'all may you know, really be brokenhearted for me, all my supporters out there. So I appreciate you all. It means a lot, and yeah, and we get to see how long stuff lasts. Well, this drive shaft didn't last, and that's not our fault. So it sucks, but what can you do? What can you do? Anyway. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much all for today's video. Always remember, everybody starts out as nobody. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.